That's okay. Okay. Wow. So it's really, really hard for me to choose like just a couple examples of real highlights from the week, but I'll do my best. So one for me was in our class on liberalism and conservatism. We thought this was a somewhat risky topic for maybe obvious reasons. We thought maybe tempers were going to flare. This is going to be like the real test of your students' ability to exemplify the intellectual virtues that we're trying to impart. And so we took them into the class. We asked them, what do you think? What are some ideas you associate with conservatism? What are some ideas you associate with liberalism? They threw up some ideas on the board. We talked about maybe what unifies those ways of thinking about politics. And then, this is the hard part, we made them do nothing but argue for conservatism for 30 minutes, and then we made them do nothing but argue for liberalism for 30 minutes. And so every student had to defend a point of view that they personally didn't hold. And they just did such a fantastic job. I'm in particular thinking about the Boethius group out there. Great job, guys. I was so impressed. Not only did they keep their tempers under control, not only were they very respectful and very charitable, the arguments they came up with were very creative. Like when I asked the students who I knew were sympathetic toward political liberalism to defend conservatism, they really tried. Like they really tried hard. And the arguments they came up with were pretty good. And not only were they good arguments, not only were they charitable, but they even there were several cases where a student said, well, here's an argument for a conservative principle that I think would appeal to a political liberal. And then explain why they thought it would be appealing to somebody on the other side of the political divide, which is just like above and beyond what we were hoping for from the class. So I just want to say to all the students, you guys really impressed me. I think you did a fantastic job of exemplifying the intellectual virtues that we mentioned in our morning sessions. I just couldn't have been more pleased with how that class went. One other example, I wanted to pick a student who I thought came up with a particularly creative argument. That turned out to be very hard because there were so many examples to choose from, but I wanted to also talk about something that came up in my Pascal's Wager class with Boethius. So you guys have seen the argument from Joe. Will, do you want to come up and explain your creative objection to the argument?
Yeah, sure.
All right, come on up.